What's up, y'all? I just wanted to talk about transcending the battle, or at least being aware and knowing that you have a choice whether to battle or not. Um, and there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself, defending yourself when it comes to energies that you may sense, feel, perceive, especially from other people that you may perceive as attacks. Uh, and I think knowing how to do those things are very important. And at some point, I would like to share my process of that, maybe like simple versions of it, because the way I protect myself is just personal to me. But it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It could be very simple. It could be silent. No one has to see, know anything that you're doing. But it does work and it does help a lot. But you know, I'm finding that you can make an enemy out of anything. You can make an enemy out of so many things, and we feel like we need to defend, or it could really turn you into you don't want to turn into the very people or the very energies that are imposing themselves on you. So we defend ourselves, but we defend ourselves uh, because we want to prevent attacks. We want to prevent the enemy, or that comes from the duality thing. It comes from the me versus them, the enemy thing. How do we move from the enemy? Because when we move into unity, when we move into a higher dimension of unity, there's no enemy. you know there's really no enemy. So the enemy that we truly deal with is ourselves, and within ourselves, regardless if anyone is doing anything to us, or we perceive another energy tugging on us or attacking us, if you'd like to use that. I like to use tugging because attack just sounds crazy. You're being attacked, like, oh my gosh. But yeah, how do we move from that? What does that look like? Uh, so defending yourself is definitely important. Protecting yourself is important, yes, and I do agree with that. But to move on from that, it falls apart. It's not about protecting and defending yourself anymore. It's really just about being aware of the energies, being aware of the tug, and just letting it go with love, letting it go with peace, and just allowing it to fall away and centering yourself back into your being. Because when an energy imposes itself on you, whether someone is physically in front of you doing it or not, or you're sensing an energy from somewhere else, or beings or whatever, you feel it internally. Everything has to do with you. It doesn't matter what the how you're perceiving it. It's all dealing with it internally within yourself. So really, it's all about not letting these energies pull you into their sphere. You know what I mean? Because for you to be at war, to be at battle with someone, you have to come down. If you're in a higher state, you have to come down to go into battle. And there may be times where you have to, depending on your situation, but you have a choice. And to have that choice is powerful. So not allowing yourself to be pulled and dragged down into these wars and these battles is the transcending the battle thing. When these energies impose themselves, letting them go to the divine, letting them go, and letting the divine take care of that energy in the best way, and recentering yourself, because that's what those energies want. Those energies would like to bring you into their circle, their sphere. And that's what I realized, especially with talking with people in person. It's like they want you to join them in their banter. They want you to join them in their back and forths and their ideas and in their mental world. And people begin saying the word we, as if to try to initiate you into their world of anxiety and control, because they want that. They want someone. They are dependent. They're dependent on other energies, doing it with them, So not all the time is it about someone attacking. It's just about someone being needy or wanting your energy, to join them because they need that, they want that. But we don't need to go there. We need to stay in our being. We need to stay connected to source. We need to stay connected to the infinite and make sure that we're tapping in more often. So no, there's no enemy. There's no enemy, especially when we see these things as reflections of ourselves, and people who perceive us as an enemy or wanted to tug. It's just distortions of the same source, you know what I mean? Or not the same source, but of a lens, Don't allow people to drag you. Don't allow energies to tug and drag you down into having to, fight for your energy. There's nothing you need to fight for. There's nothing you need to fight over. You know what I mean? The same thing within you is within them too. So how do we deal with that? This is where being an example comes in handy. This is where teaching comes in handy, and sharing your lessons and being a guide comes in handy to show others that there's another way and there's another path. Like, you don't need to be in that energy. You don't need to be going through these things and these problems, these issues, these anxieties, these battles within yourself, which is where they're coming from. Therefore, there's no need to protect yourself, because the source within you is going to be what protects you and defends you at the end of the day. You staying within that awareness of the infinite within you, and it challenges others around you to come up. You know what I mean? It challenges them to come up, and because those energies they're not looking for that. They're looking for someone or energies to come into their sphere instead of them wanting to come up. What happens? It goes away. It goes away. There was no need for me to fight with that energy. It was only necessary for me to stay planted within the infinite, stay planted within the source, and allowing what's not meant to be to just fall away. So I've been having a rough week, but the past couple of days have really turned around. I've been in a library a lot, reading, studying some things, and it really helped to reset my mind on what's important right now, because I did find myself getting trapped into those spheres of energies around me with being anxious and trying to get stuff done, and making this week the week that I do it, and the week that I make this happen and that happen. Oh, excuse me. But it didn't take long for me to notice that I'm not in control of this thing. I'm not in control of this thing. It's only necessary for me to be sturdy in my being and connected to source, and moving from that place and feeling through my body in the way that I'm supposed to go. So I just wanted to talk about that. And it doesn't mean that I'm not saying that I think protecting yourself and defending yourself is a bad thing. I don't care about good and bad, and I don't think it's something that you should not do. I think it's something that everyone, especially spiritual people, should know and learn. And I think it's necessary, especially to get through the 4D world of the psychic, where all that stuff lives. To move forward, to move above that, I think learning all of that stuff gets you there, and it teaches you more and more, especially more and more of yourself and more deeply of how things move within you, around you, and in your life. But we're moving into unity. We're moving into unity. So I'm just sharing this because I understand that not everyone's life looks the same. Not everyone's life has the privileges and the comfortabilities, as others, and some have a lot less. But regardless, it doesn't matter. It's not about comparison. It's just about the now, and noticing where you are, and what positives and what opportunities you have in front of you to do certain things. It doesn't matter what the situation is, because there's positives and negatives to everything, and the people who have things, they have them because it's for them, and it's where they are, or they work for them, or whatever. You know what I mean? There's no comparison to that. There's a gift in every situation. There's a gift in every life, no matter how different, So for people going through rough times, never give up on yourself. Always trust God and have faith in God that there's a plan, and that there's a way forward. And it's okay to be anxious. It's okay to feel all those feelings, but just know that you have a choice. Know that you have the power to recenter, and you have something within you that is infinite and always calling you back to its center, and that is where your protection lies. That is where your safety lies. That is where your prosperity lies, within you, within this deep infinite force that's connected to everything around you and everyone around you. That's within everyone and everything around you. So as long as you're connected with that, follow that, and move towards peace. That's about all I have to say about that. I guess I'll hit you guys with something else later on, or tomorrow, or whatever. Peace, love, and blessings to all of you. Have a good day. I'll see you later.